Welcome to another one of these academic vocabulary lessons we're going to do. My name is Joseph Rupert. Welcome to my page, whatever this is. But today we are going to look at a new article from Psychology Today. Going over here, Psychology Today. And I haven't read it yet. We are not going to read it completely. We're going to use our strategy, our reading strategy, to try to understand what the main idea of this article is and decide if this is something we want to read completely. However, this is a little bit shorter than some of the previous articles we've looked at. If I scroll down here, it's got some that's it. It got some bullet pointed sections. So I don't know how many paragraphs here. Roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know, maybe we could call this 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, maybe 14, 15 paragraphs. It really is not very long, but I can see it has some excellent vocabulary in here that I want to touch on. But the main goal is to try to understand the main idea of the article. So let's begin. Let's jump in. First of all, Psychology Today, we can assume that this is focused on psychology. That's not a problem. Next thing I'm going to notice, even before reading the title, is that this is about artificial intelligence, or AI. All right? So psychology and AI. Oh, and actually, you know what? Let's do this. I forgot I have moved it over here so that we can draw on it. That's what I like to do. Okay, so artificial intelligence. So it's dealing with psychology and AI, artificial intelligence. All right, now let's take a look at our title and our secondary title here. Here's our title. Fulfilling these 3 human needs can ease the AI revolution. When we feel confident, safe, and competent at work, AI doesn't feel scary. Okay, so what does this mean? What can we understand from this title? So I see here we're dealing with ease, scary, something having to do with the problem of AI. And that maybe this is about advice, maybe this is giving us advice, fulfilling these 3 human needs. So one thing to notice is that commonly, so first of all, these 2 words together, fulfilling needs. Here's a question for you. What part of speech is the word needs here? Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it an adjective? Adverb? So often we see needs as a verb, right? I need this, who needs this, that kind of a thing. But if you notice here, this is not being used as a verb. Needs is a noun. So we have needs, we have wants, we have needs. Something that we need, we can just call it a need. And commonly, when we're using need as a noun, fulfilling as a verb, this is a gerund here, but as a verb, to fulfill a need or meet a need, sometimes you might hear that, to meet a need or fulfill a need, is that need is satisfied. like the need for food, need for shelter, need for companionship, need for love. Uh, these are human needs. And sometimes the needs are contrasted with, to meet a need or meet needs, contrasted with another noun, wants. So just like the verb want, to want something, we can talk about wants as a noun as well. So when we are comparing or contrasting these words, needs would be those things like I said, food and shelter. Wants would be those things like, I don't know, a new video game, a pizza, a Ferrari. These are things that we want that we don't need to live, or to live a full or complete life as we think of it. So these two words are often contrasted, wants and needs. Okay. Because we're talking about needs, human needs, then the other contrast here, I guess, is happening between AI and human, right? So we're dealing with an AI revolution and human needs. So it's sort of like, how do we handle, I don't know if it's a problem, but the fact of the AI revolution. Revolution, of course, meaning a huge change, right? An enormous change or transformation. To revolve, to turn around. So fulfilling these three human needs can ease the AI revolution. Yeah, so this sounds like advice. This sounds like we're probably going to get some advice here. Three human needs. When we feel, oh, okay, so we have our three. Yeah. We have our three right here. Didn't even notice that. Right? Confident, 1. Safe, 2. And competent, 3 at work. So these are our three needs given to us right away. Confident, safe, competent. Confident, safe, competent. Okay, safe is easy. We know what safe is, right? To be safe. Confident. We know what confident means. That means if we feel confident, feel like we can do a good job. Safe, we are free from danger, right? So no danger, and we know what we're doing. Competent. What is competent? Competent at work. Well, I just said that confident, you feel like you know what you're doing. And I would say competent is you feel like you know what you're doing. You also feel like you know what you're doing. So it's interesting. We have three human needs. 1, 2, 3. But 1 and 3 sound or seem very, very similar to me. So let's dig a little deeper into these. See if we can't come up with a distinction between those two words. So let's go to our dictionary and take a look. First of all, so we'll take a look at confident. Okay, so full of conviction, having or showing assurance and self-reliance. So this is how I was thinking of it, showing assurance. Are you sure about yourself? Can you depend on yourself? Can you rely on yourself? So to be confident, all right, is to rely on oneself. So I guess then competent is going to be more about knowing you can do a good job. Competent. Having the capacity or function. See, we've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4 definitions. Having requisite or adequate ability. So I guess one is confident you feel like you can depend on yourself, and competent is having the ability or qualities to do a job. I don't know. I'm telling you that in my mind, these two words in the context of work are very, very similar. So I will be interested to see how the article, how the author makes a distinction between confident and competent. So that will be his job, to show me, what does he mean by these are three separate human needs? To be confident, to be safe, to be competent at work. Yeah, I guess, you know, what I should be doing is including the at, interesting, is the at work. Okay, no, I'll take that back. All of these are applied to at work. So competent, at work. Safe, at work. Confident, at work. So all of these are related to being at work. So AI doesn't feel scary at work. It's not going to take my job. It's not putting me in danger. It's not threatening my ability to do my job. I guess that's the idea. These three human needs. Okay, that's good for the title. Now, what I'd like to do next is just look at only two things right now. Just the first paragraph. We're going to look at the first paragraph, and then we're going to skip through all of this, and we're going to look at the conclusion. Now, the article also gave us some key points. This is kind of cheating, though. I don't want to look at the key points now. I'm going to wait until I've made my guesses about what I think the article is about, and then I can use these key points to kind of assess if I'm on the right track or not. But right now I'm feeling like this article is giving us advice about how to deal with the AI revolution. How to deal with the AI revolution. All right. So paragraph, let me scroll down here. So let's look at paragraph number 1 and see what we can learn. A recent article published in Telematics and Informatics brings to light a critical discovery: the extent to which individuals satisfy their fundamental psychological needs of autonomy, control over one's actions, competence, feeling effective in tasks, and relatedness, connection with others, plays a substantial role in shaping their opinions regarding artificial intelligence. All right, I'm a little confused here. How many sentences do we have in this first paragraph? How many sentences do we have? 1. This is one sentence, right? Am I wrong here? Is this one sentence? It's one sentence. It's one long sentence. So a recent article published in Telematics and Informatics brings to light a critical discovery. Brings to light, right? Reveals. Brings to light a critical or an important, critical or important discovery. Fine. What is the discovery? The extent to which individuals satisfy their fundamental psychological needs of autonomy and related to their place. Oh my goodness. All right. So, 2 things. When we're dealing with an a sentence that's this long, my advice is try to locate the main verb, because there might be multiple verbs, multiple phrases, multiple clauses. So my question will be, is what is the main verb in this sentence? And that can help us to understand what's going on. Now you'll notice we have a a full colon here. And a full colon is connecting two independent, usually, is connecting two independent clauses. So it's like two complete sentences. So I feel like the most important part of this sentence or information we're getting comes after this colon. So what comes before this is like an introduction to the important information. All right. So let's look for a verb in this part of the sentence. Let's look for a verb. So what choices do we have? Let's locate our, I'll use a green. I'll use this aqua blue here to identify our verbs. So what choices do we have? The extent to which individuals satisfy, that's a verb, their fundamental psychological needs. Okay, now needs here is not a verb like we talked about before. Needs is being used as a noun here. So their fundamental psychological needs of autonomy, control over one's actions, control. I think this is being used as a noun in that these pieces are just defining the word that comes before. So I'm going to say there is no verb there, and they're only being used to define what the word is. Autonomy, what is autonomy? Control over one's actions. Competence, what's competence? Feeling effective in tasks. Relatedness, what's relatedness? Connection with others. So everything in the brackets is just defining or describing the word before it. All right? So no verbs there. So I have satisfy as my only verb so far. Autonomy is not a verb, it's a noun. Competence is not a verb, it's a noun. Relatedness is not a verb, it's a noun. But then we do get another verb right here, plays. Plays a substantial role in shaping. Okay, so shaping, so technically, I mean, is it a verb? Yes, it's being used here as a gerund, however. Their opinions regarding artificial intelligence. Okay, great. I'm going to say shaping and regarding I can take off the table because these are being used as gerunds. So describing opinions that are regarding artificial intelligence, something like that. So part of that clause. So really, I feel like my only two choices here are satisfy and plays. And I need to decide which one of these is going to be the main verb. So the to which here, I see that this is part the extent to which individuals satisfy their psychological needs. All of this is going to be a dependent clause. So satisfy, while being a verb, is not our main verb. It's not our main verb. It's not the central verb. So that just leaves me with plays. In fact, so if you think about how English, I don't know if you've seen this before, but SVO is the core of an English sentence. Subject, verb, object. And sometimes you can have a massive sentence like this, but still break it down into 3 words. What would the 3 words be that is the heart, the core of this sentence? A lot of grammar, I know, a lot of grammar today. Well, the 3 words would be this. Let me see here. Extent, plays role. Plays a role. These three words are the heart of the sentence. The extent plays a role. Everything else is added information, but that is the grammatical heart of the sentence. Now, that might not be the main information, but that is the grammatical heart of the sentence. So, well, then what is the key information? The key information, I think it's easy to see, is these three words: autonomy, competence, relatedness. And then I would argue the word substantial. What does substantial mean? Okay, autonomy, competence, relatedness. Autonomy, what does that mean? Control over one's actions. Competence, what does that mean? Feeling effective in tasks. Relatedness, what does that mean? Connection with others. These three ideas or needs play a substantial role in how people feel about AI. That people are going to feel positive or negative about AI based on these three fundamental psychological needs. Oh, substantial. What does substantial mean? Important. It's just important. Plays an important role. Important. So my guess is, and I'm not entirely sure, but my guess is then confident, safe, and competent. Well, do these really match these three words? Autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Well, competence is the noun form of the adjective competent. So competent is the adjective, competence is the noun. So those two match. Those are the same, that's the same idea. But relatedness, I don't see that connected with safe. Autonomy might be related to confident, but not directly. So I'm still a little confused by how the author is going to connect these three words with these three words. But we have three human needs, three human needs. Interesting. So maybe these three are the ones I should focus on, not these three. Confident, safe, competent. Maybe really it needs to be these three: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. All right. Well, that's enough for the introduction. Now, what I'm going to do is skip all the way past all of this and go all the way to the conclusion. Now, the reason I'm reading the conclusion now without reading all this other stuff is I just want to have a clue where this article is going to end up. And I'm also wanting to validate the guesses that I'm making here. So I'm assuming that this is about psychology. I'm assuming that it is about AI. So I expect the conclusion to be dealing with psychology, dealing with AI. And I expect that the conclusion is going to reflect the idea that this is advice, that the author is giving us advice about how to live or how to work with AI. I don't expect to understand everything in the conclusion because I haven't read anything before it. So it may be referring to information I just don't know anything about yet. But that's okay. I don't need to understand all of it. I just need to make sure that I'm on the right path, I'm on the right track in terms of the conclusions I'm drawing. In general conclusion. So here we go. Here is the conclusion. Oh, interesting. Is it a quote? Look at that. So right away, Interesting. It's a quote. Overall, organizations can enhance AI engagement and acceptance by aligning AI implementation strategies with the principles of self-determination theory. By addressing employees' psychological needs for competence, autonomy, and relatedness, organizations can foster a positive and supportive environment for embracing AI-driven changes, concludes the author. Okay. All right. I don't understand what I just read. I really don't understand what I just read, but I do notice that we are, concludes the author. Why does it say this? And why do we have these quotes? So this must be, okay, so we're learning something about this article. This article might be a report on a study. So this is something that happens in academics, of course, that you have, maybe you have some, a scientist, right, who does some research, and then that research is published in it's published as a report, I guess we could say, or as an article in something academic. But then we have, and by the way, this is for peers, if you know this word, meaning it's for other scientists. It's not for the general public. All right. Then you may have a journalist who is writing a, who they read the report or read the research, and they make an article. They write an article about the research, and that is for the general public, for non-experts, right? So this first up here, this is for experts, and this is for people who are not experts. So I think that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with an article that is not written for experts. It's written for the general public. For that reason, the author, who's the author? Oh, so maybe a PhD. So this is interesting, reviewed by somebody else. So this person is writing this article for the general public. That's my guess. But Mark Travers, so who is the author? All right, that's a question. Not, what I'm saying is, when it says the author here, we are not talking about the author of the article. We must be talking about the article or the author of whatever this research is. So, but that's a question for me. I don't know. I don't know who that is. Okay. Now, the content of the conclusion. Overall, organizations can enhance AI engagement. Overall, organizations can enhance AI engagement. What does this mean? Overall, organizations can enhance AI engagement. I understand this to mean, this is my guess. I haven't read the article, so I'm just guessing at this point. Organizations would be companies, businesses, universities, hospitals, just any general organization. They can, I don't know if improve would be a good word, enhance, improve, to use well. Oh, by the way, I have my head blocking the. There we go. Oh, hello. I didn't see the chat. Forgive me. Hello, Anne. Please, I will try to read the chat. If you have questions for me related to what I'm discussing, You can write it in the chat. I will try to remember to look at the chat. So if you have questions about words here or anything that I've discussed, I will be happy to answer it. So welcome, Anne from Bangladesh. Great to see you. Okay, so organizations, schools, hospitals, businesses can enhance or improve AI engagement. How can it do it? By aligning AI implementation strategies. Oh my goodness. By aligning AI implementation strategies with the principles of self-determination theory. Okay, there's a lot I cannot understand yet. We will have to read what comes first in the article in order to understand all of it, but I can make a guess here. I can make a guess. All right, by aligning AI implementation strategies with the principles of self-determination theory. So in this sentence, I think I have three ideas. How can organizations improve the way that workers and AI work together? Number one. Then it's going to be number two, how? How? By aligning. What does aligning mean? By aligning implementation strategies. Aligning. So when I want you to think with aligning, I want you just to think of the word line, even though it's not at all spelled alike. But to get in the same line, if something is aligned, it means they are like pointed in the same direction. They're not in conflict. They're not at odds. They are in agreement. They are in agreement. They are in the same lane, in the same line. So by aligning to get them to agree, implementation strategies. Oh my goodness. What does implementation mean? Implementation simply means how something is done. How are we going to do it? It's the how. Again, related to the how here. How? How are we going to do it? All right, and then a key, so how are we going to do it? Well, this with is very important because what are we lining up? We're lining two things, right? Two things have to agree. Number one, implementation strategies. Number two, principles of self-determination theory. I don't know. Self-determination, I do not know. Goodness. So, strategies with principles. We are getting the strategies to agree with the principles. How can we get those to align? Strategies with principles. What does this mean? I don't know. I don't know yet. I just see that they are, the writer is comparing, or the author here is comparing, that these two, showing that these two need to align. They need to agree. They need to agree. By addressing employees' psychological needs for competence, autonomy, and relatedness, those three words again, organizations can foster. My goodness. Create. Foster here just means create, encourage, or grow. So to create, to encourage, or to grow. That's foster, right? So they can create a positive environment. They can encourage a positive and supportive environment. They can grow a positive, supportive environment. For doing what? For embracing or accepting. For embracing or accepting AI driven changes. I think I understand. So it's actually much simpler than it seems. I know it looks very, very confusing. I have all of these colors. It's very, very confusing. And it is confusing. But I think very simply, it's just saying that employees will embrace or accept AI changes if, I'll use another color here, pink. So employees will embrace AI changes, will accept AI changes if these three needs, competence, autonomy, and relatedness, are met, cared for, provided, fulfilled. So this is the theory. This is the idea. I don't know if I agree with this. I have to think about this. So for me at the university, I'm working at the university, and I think about the university bringing AI changes to my classroom. Will I feel comfortable if I feel like I have autonomy, if I feel competent to do my job? Relatedness, relatedness, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the word relatedness. I guess with other people, maybe? I'm not sure. So I still have some questions then about the three words, of competence, autonomy, and relatedness. But that's okay. We just read the conclusion. It's okay. I don't understand everything at this point. That's fine. I do have a general feeling, a general understanding about the article as a whole. Interesting. A lot of bullet points here. Okay. So at this point, probably I would skim the article and see kind of well, this is interesting that we have these bullet points here. That makes me curious. There are two places with bullet points. Interesting. That makes me curious about the paragraph right above it. And then this as well. Let's take a look just for fun, because we're not going to read through all of this, but I think I would like to look at these bullet points because for whatever reason they're being set aside. So this is what we'll do. We'll do three things. Number one, we'll take a look at these bullet points. Number two, we'll take a look at these bullet points. And then the last thing we'll do, number three, is we'll compare everything with the key points that they give us there at the end. I got to keep my head out of the... There we go. All right. So let's start here. In order to understand the connection between psychological needs and attitude towards AI, the researchers conducted two studies examining attitudes toward AI based on self-determination theory and basic psychological needs, autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Okay, so let's stop right there and notice a couple of things. So, of course, we have our three words again, over and over again. But then also we have this self-determination theory, which I do not know what that means, but I'm happy to see it here. All right. In terms Okay, so that's pretty basic. Let's continue. Let's go ahead and look at these 3 bullet points. In the first study across 6 European countries, they found that lower satisfaction of these needs was linked to more negative AI attitudes, while competence and relatedness fostered positive attitudes. For Finns, autonomy also played a significant role in positive AI attitudes. Okay, so clearly we're talking about some study. All right, oh, there's more than one. I see here, and I can cheat and already see there's a second study there. All right, so in one study, the first study across 6 European countries, they found that lower satisfaction of these needs, right? 1, 2, 3, these are the needs, right? The needs. These are the human needs. That these needs was linked to more negative AI attitudes, all right, understandable, while lower satisfaction of these needs, well, these are the same needs, while competence and relatedness foster positive attitudes. They're just saying, it's just saying that if people felt like they didn't have these needs met, they felt bad, and if they had them, they felt good. I mean, I guess that's right. I guess that's what they're just saying. It's we have negative and positive, right? If they had them met, they were happy, and if they didn't, then they were not happy. So very simple. Now, Finns, this is the name of a person. I don't know if this is the name of I'm assuming a researcher or whoever published the original study, maybe. So that's Finns, someone's name. I do not know who it is. We have not seen it yet, this name in the article. Okay, bullet point number 2. In the second study with Finnish participants for Finns. It's not a name at all. It's the Finnish people. Aha, okay. So in Finland then, wait. 6 European countries. Okay, so, and then Finland would be one of the 6 European countries. And so we're specifically addressing the Finnish, or the Finland. So there's 6 European countries. Finland must be one of them. In the second study with Finnish participants, they observed that increasing autonomy and relatedness satisfaction led to more positive AI attitudes and less negativity. Okay, great, fine. Again, same thing. The study showed we're looking at positive and negativity. That if they had more autonomy, and what is autonomy again? Autonomy is the ability to control one's self and environment. Actually, let's review autonomy. Autonomy is this: control over one's actions. That is autonomy. Control over one's actions. All right. So in Finland, increasing autonomy and relatedness led, but not other European countries. It may be like this. The first study was with 6 countries. Then they did a follow-up study, a second study that focused only on Finland. That's my guess. That is my guess. Let's look at bullet point number 3. So here we have bullet point number 1, number 2. Here's number 3. Additionally, they found consistent effects of autonomy, competence, and relatedness on reducing negativity towards AI, with individuals perceiving higher autonomy and competence, displaying both less negativity and more positivity towards AI. What? It sounds like the same thing, doesn't it? I feel like they're saying the same thing again and again and again. Additionally, they found consistent effects of autonomy, competence, and relatedness on reducing negativity towards AI, with individuals perceiving higher autonomy. Oh, consistent effects, perceiving higher autonomy and competence, displaying, showing, right? Displaying is showing, showing both less negativity and more positivity towards AI. I don't understand what, it seems to just be the same thing. They found consistent effects. I guess this is the key idea. Consistent effects. What does that mean? I'm not sure. Perceiving. There seems to be something where we're relating perceiving. What does perceiving mean? And effects. Interesting. Seems to be a relationship between what is and what seems. Because perceiving is just what we see or what we think, right? So in the study, this is a guess. This is just a guess. But it seems like that when people felt like, or it seemed to them that they had more control, that they actually did have more control, maybe. But I don't know. This is still a question. I guess we can just repeat the same idea that we are talking about positivity and negativity. That's the point. Okay. They did research. 6 European countries, focused on Finland in the second study, and they showed again and again that people would feel better about AI if they had autonomy, competence, and relatedness. That's it. That's the general idea. That's the main idea. Okay. That's enough for those. Let's skip down to this. Let's look at this one. The study's key takeaways can be condensed into the following points. Oh, okay. So this is going to be a summary for us. All right. Takeaways. What is a takeaway? Takeaway. It's like a conclusion that you can carry away with you in your mind, like taking food away from a restaurant, right? When we're done with the study, the general important conclusions can be condensed or reduced. So, I can't. Let me try that again. Reduced. So the key conclusions can be condensed into the following points. So we have 3 points here. 1, 2, 3. Number 1, people who feel capable, connected, and in control tend to have more positive attitudes toward AI. Specifically, those who believe they can use technology on their own terms, like Finnish respondents, tend to view AI more favorably. All right, so we've got 3 new words that are going to repeat the same idea. Capable, connected, and in control. Connected would be with, related. What is it? Relatedness. Control would be autonomy. Capable would be competence. So these 3 words are being used as synonyms for our previous 3 words. So it's, again, repeating the same thing. Number 2, to harness AI's potential effectivity, it is crucial to acknowledge the diverse perspectives and concerns people have about this technology. Okay, so to harness or to take advantage of, to get the power of, to take advantage of AI's potential effectively, I'm sorry, I'm reading this wrong. To harness its potential effectively, it is crucial or important to acknowledge the diverse perspectives and concerns people have about the technology. All right. So it is important. The diverse, what does diverse means? There's many points of view. And perspective is a point of view. People's opinions, many opinions about this topic. Okay, so that's all. It's important in order to effectively harness AI's potential, we need to acknowledge that people have a lot of opinions. All right, number 3. By ensuring that individuals' basic psychological needs are met when they interact with AI. I need to move this up. We can improve acceptance and use of these technologies in more flexible and productive ways. By ensuring that individuals' basic psychological needs are met. So here we are again with needs and met, to meet one's needs. When they interact with AI, we can improve acceptance and use. That means of the person, acceptance by the person. So acceptance and use of AI by the employee. That the employee will accept and use AI in more flexible and productive ways. So this is the conclusion, saying, look, employees understandably have a problem with AI. They are afraid of AI. They don't know what to think about AI. So in order to help employees to accept AI, the employee needs to feel capable, connected, and in control. Needs to feel competence, autonomy, and relatedness. That's the report. Will the employee actually have control? I don't know. I see a lot of this is about feeling, right? They're talking a lot about feeling, how they feel, which again brings me back to the idea of the question of if something is that way or if it only seems that way. And I don't know what the answer is there. Okay. Last thing. I think this is probably just a repeat. I did want to, maybe can I just make this a little larger? And maybe delete that. All right, so we'll just look at these key points. This will be the last thing here we do. Okay, key points. The extent to which people achieve autonomy, competence, and relatedness shapes their opinion of AI. People who believe they can use technology on their own terms tend to view AI more favorably. To harness AI's potential effectively, it's crucial to acknowledge the concerns people have about AI. All right, so this one we already looked at, easy to understand. People who believe they can use technology on their own terms. What does that mean? On their own terms. That means as they want, on their terms. It's like their rules, their opinions, their techniques, whatever, how they want to. And they tend, so usually view, they tend to view, usually, they usually view usually view AI more favorably, positively, right? Favorably, positively. Great. The extent to which people achieve autonomy, competence, and relatedness shapes their opinion of AI. Shapes here is a verb, very interesting. Right? Achieve, so to reach or to have or to gain. When people gain. Oh, I can't do that. When people gain these things or have these things, when they achieve these things, this forms or shapes their opinion of AI. Interesting. All right, so there we go. We didn't read all of it, but we read enough to have a general idea of the article. I will let's see. I will put this in the chat and well, actually, so in Facebook, when I post this lesson, I will put a link to this article so you can read it on your own, and be sure that you're keeping a record or a journal of the new vocabulary that you're learning, and watch for opportunities to use the vocabulary and see the vocabulary again. If you have questions, please put questions below this lesson in the comment section, and I will answer your questions. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day or evening or morning, and see you next time. Bye-bye.